I extend my heartfelt gratitude and welcome to our resource person today, Ms. Deepika Annapurna. And a special welcome to all the participants. Your dedication, active involvement, and participation throughout this session is very interactive and meaningful. Thank you so much for joining us today. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we stopped at Microsoft Defender, right? So I will be sharing my screen. Give me a minute.
Yes, ma'am. You can continue with that demo, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Your screen is
We can see.
visible.
Thank you. So yesterday we were discussing about identity, data protection, right? So we are going to discuss about this Microsoft Defender today. What is Microsoft Defender? It is one of the product of Microsoft, okay, which is designed to protect devices, identities, and data from malware or phishing attacks, which happens. So it is coming pre-installed in Windows software. So I'm the IT admin, so I have complete control over all these things. So I will be showing you what will happen in the Defender. Okay. So this is the Defender dashboard. Okay, this is the home screen, and you here you can see your optimized data, what are active, what are in progress. Everything will be seen here. This is SOC optimization coming down. This is the security score, like I have discussed yesterday, right? Identity, data, devices, applications. It will give you scoring based on your like um virus and everything. And here you can see the active incidents which are happening. Okay, so it will be detecting the phishing attacks, malware attacks. So here you can see email messages is containing a malicious URL that has been removed after delivery. Okay, so what Microsoft Defender did here, it removed. So what does the URL contain? The attacker is attempting to gain the access to the user credentials using email phishing. When did this happen? Here you can see the timestamp. Okay, and the user with who was attacked and his mailbox. He received two emails to two users. Okay, so again, this is also an email message containing the malicious URL, and the attacker is again trying to attempt to gain access to user credentials. So the severity, and you can see the timestamp here. So you can view the all incidents which happened in the last week. Okay, this is the dashboard you can see here, and what are the total number of discovered devices, and this is the device security management Intune MD and the threat where the actions are required, which threats had happened, and when the action is required, and the scoring based on the threat. Okay, going to email and collaboration. Let me show you. Okay, so Microsoft Defender will automatically will detect all your emails, whether there is a malware email or phishing, or it is a campaign email, or it is containing any malware or URL clicks happened. It will track everything. You can set the date range here, and you can check who is the sender and recipient, everything here, and equal to any domain, or you can specify any domains here, and you can send the query. You will get the list. As of now, I'm not sending any query. I'm just showing you the uh, list which contains all the emails. So these are all the emails which are received. Okay, let's go to the phishing emails. So whenever Microsoft Defender detects a phishing attack is happening, it will move the email to the quarantine. It will not be delivered to the inbox of the user or the employee. You can see these are some phishing emails. So Microsoft Defender, what it did, it pushed it to quarantine. You can see the threat type as phishing here. This is spam and phishing. Okay. So you have received multiple emails and what is the domain and who is the sender. Microsoft Defender identified it as a phishing email and it is sending to quarantine. So let's see malware. If there any malware emails are there in the past 1 week. Though there is no malware. Campaigns. There is no campaign email. If there is any content of malware inside the email. Yes. So these are the users. So no one received any content here. So no data to show. This is how we try to see whether any email is received or not. We will try to track. Okay. So how will we do? So we have policies and rules in Microsoft Defender. We can set up policies and we can manage devices. Okay. Going to the threat policies, we can define anti-phishing policy, anti-spam, anti-malware. By default, Microsoft Defender will stop few of the emails which it detected as phishing or spam. We can rewrite the policies or we can add additional policies which we are trying to block, or we can specify particular domain has to be blocked. We can attach a policy here. Okay, we can set some rules. We can block few lists or organization uh, which domain they are getting targeted. We can write it here. We can write the rules here. So let's go to anti-phishing policy. Okay, so here you can create a policy. So we have CEO impersonation protection. This policy we have made on May 29th. Okay, we have Office 365 anti-phish. By default it is by Microsoft 365. So, and another policy, this is strict preset security policy. We can create another policy if we want to. We can name it. Okay. Then we can add the users and groups which come under the policy and the phishing threshold and protection. What actions we need to do? What actions should be performed whether when it is identified as phishing? And we can go for the review. This is how it will go. We can create policies. How many policies? We can create any number of policies here. The same way we can create for anti-malware also. Anti-spam, anti-malware, the same process will continue. And we can block or allow few lists and with email authentication settings for authentication received chain or DKM in your organization. So this is nothing but we are protecting our employee emails uh, from getting any phishing or malware links. Okay, this is how Defender is going to work on a high level. Okay, so coming to the today's session, today we are going to discuss something important here: ethical hacking. Today we are going to discuss on ethical hacking, digital forensics, and incident response. So when people hear the word hacker, they often think of someone illegally breaking into the system. Hacking means that's it, right? So some hacking had happened somewhere. Someone technically or legally or illegally hacked into the system or steal some data or money from there. This is what we'll hear, right? Hacking. But we have different perspective of hacking. We will discuss that today in this class. So here are the objectives of the today's session. Okay, we can go through some technical concepts also today. Okay, so some core concepts of ethical hacking and cyber defense and VAPT practice. VAPT means vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, and digital forensics. identifying, preserving, and analyzing of the evidence, and incident response. Whenever an incident happens, what is the life cycle we are going through? AI and security, and some relevant examples. So, why cyber security matters? Why do you think that cyber security is has become a very big deal today, right? So you can see every industry is being targeted. Generally, what we hear hacking means they will target banks or finance or some organization, private or let's say MNCs. No, now they are targeting every domain. Okay, every domain is getting targeted, like healthcare, retail, finance, government, and educational institutions are also getting targeted. The figures you see on the slide are the increasing in the attack trends across different industries here. So there is an increase in the attack uh, for education industry also 65%. These values will be changing day to day. Okay, these are the approximate values how attacks are happening for every industry here. So we need to be careful in the organization in whatever the field we are going through. We need to protect ourselves. Okay, so going on to the next slide. So current cyber threat landscape. So every organization will encounter thousands of cyber attacks day to day, right? So those cyber attacks will be falling under few categories. What are those categories? Let's see, phishing. You know about phishing, right? Attackers will try to send you emails or SMS or fake social media messages pretending to be a trusted organization or a trusted bank, let's say. You got an email from a bank saying you have to update your Aadhaar card number or PAN number, but it is from a fake email. You don't observe the email which is coming from the where it is coming from. You are undergoing through a phishing attack, right? What happens if we click the link and update the Aadhaar card details? It will redirect you to the wrong page, which looks identical to the original legal page of the bank. This is where the credentials will be stolen. This is called a phishing attack. The second one is the malware. Malware is nothing but installing a malicious software inside your system to damage or to gain some unauthorized access towards your system. They can steal your data, they will gain unauthorized access. That's called malware. Another kind of malware is ransomware. So, what attackers will do, they will try to encrypt your data. They steal your data, they will encrypt, and in return, they will ask for a ransom, some amount. They will demand payment from you for restoring the access. That is called ransomware. The fourth one is the insider threat. What do you mean by insider threat? Inside the organization or inside the university, the person who has complete access to the resources. Okay, the employee working in the organization, let's say he has complete access towards the system. So he will unintentionally or intentionally steal the data from the organization and expose them. This is called insider threat. Cloud attacks. So now every day organizations are storing data in cloud, and everything is happening in cloud. Applications are deployed in cloud. So any misconfigurations in cloud or weak identities or weak passwords will lead to exposed data. Data breach, breaching of data, where confidential information such as personal details or financial information, anything gets stolen. That is called a data breach. Okay, going to the next. So, what is the cyber attack life cycle? How it will happen? So, this is also called cyber kill chain. In technical terms, we call this as cyber kill chain. So, how cyber attack will actually happen? So, first stage is reconnaissance. So, what is the Actually, whenever a robbery is being planned, the first step the thief will do is he will simply check the bank, right? Whenever he want to rob something, he will be checking the bank, right? There is a planning for it. So we have some steps for cyber attack also. First stage is reconnaissance. So this is the information gathering phase. The attacker will collect the publicly available information about the target organization. Okay, let's say they are targeting some bank. So what they will do, they will gather publicly available information about the target, right? So they look at their company website, let's say their LinkedIn profiles of the employees, or if they are targeting some private MNC, they will be checking the GitHub repositories if there are something posted there online or publicly posted anything, emails of the employees which are available in public. So organizations should be very careful while revealing the public information. So the first stage is called reconnaissance, that is gathering of information. Second step is called scanning. So attackers, what they are doing here, they target to discover the open ports. They will check if there are any vulnerabilities in the system, like open ports or running services or like outdated operating systems. Okay, they will check if there is any weakness. Let's say someone is trying to rob the house. So he will be checking if there are any weakness. So can I enter through the window? Is the window weak? Is there any lock there to the doors, or can I go back door? He will be checking if there are any weaknesses in the system. That's called vulnerabilities. Okay. What he will do, initial access, the third thing is initial access. So the vulnerability is identified in the second stage. Okay, he found some weakness. What he will do in the next step, okay, the vulnerability is identified, the attacker will try to attempt to gain the access. Let's say a weak password. Okay, he will try to gain the access, to gain the credentials, or he will steal the credentials, or he will try to send a phishing email. Let's say he found some company email IDs, so he will be sending some emails to all the employees. Okay, phishing email. Or he will try to exploit some outdated software or weak passwords. This is called initial access. He want to go to inside it, so he will be trying it. So the next stage is privilege escalation. Privilege escalation means, okay, he is trying to do something. He wanted to gain access in the third stage. That means initial access, he wanted to gain access. The fourth stage is he gained the access. Okay. So he gained the access as a user or some other administrator, let's say. So his main target is a root user, the main admin. He wanted to target the admin who will have the complete privileges of the system, right? Admin will have control over the complete system. He will try to gain the access of the admin, root access. Okay. Next, data theft. After gaining sufficient privileges from the fourth step, what he will do? He will try to take the data or move the data, right? So they may steal the confidential documents, customer information from banks, or intellectual properties or financial records, install some malware. He can do anything for data theft. So what he will do at last? He will cover the tracks. So before leaving, after getting all the confidential data, he will try to cover the tracks. So he will delete the logs. He will remove the malware traces everywhere, disable security alerts. He will create a hidden accounts, right? This is the most important process how the cyber attacks will happen. These are the six steps how they are going to target. So at what stage do you think the organization should stop an attack? In the first stage itself, right? In the first stage itself, organization should detect and stop the attack. We should identify in the first step itself. So hacking, as I told you, hacking has a very negative meaning in the today's world. But ethical hacking is completely different. Ethical means it is a legally done with authorized attack. Okay, that person will be given authorization to hack.
ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ನೈಟ್ ಫೀವರ್ ಇತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಹಾ ನಾನು ಕಾಲೇಜ್
So, what is ethical hacking? Ethical hacking is a process of legally testing the system, right? A person will have the authorization to test the system. That is called ethical hacking. So, he is there to identify the vulnerabilities before an attacker try to find it. So, here the most important word in this slide is authorization. Okay, both hackers, ethical and non-ethical hacker, will have the same technical skills, but the ethical hacker use it for identifying the vulnerabilities and to remediate them. So he will be given authorization or the signed scope to test their application. Okay, so why ethical hacker is recruited? So for security improvement. So what he will do before any attack happens to the system, ethical hacker will try to find the vulnerabilities inside the system, and he will try to prove the vulnerabilities and report them to the organization so that the organization will remediate the issues and they finally improves the security of the system. So this way the risk will be reduced. Okay. So it will meet the audit and regulatory requirements. Suppose a university plans to launch a new online examination portal, let's say. So before students begin to use that portal, the university, what it will do, it will hire a ethical hacker to test the application. What ethical hacker will do? Ethical hacker will discover that students could potentially view another student marks. One student cannot view another student marks, or like he cannot access another student. He will check all the required vulnerabilities, or if any possibilities are there, he will check everything. He will report it to the organization, and organization on the first step they will fix the issues and then will launch the application. This way this is going to happen. So what is ethical hacking and what is malicious hacking? So ethical hacker and malicious hacker both have identical skills, right? They both have the same technical skills. But here ethical hacker works for signed authorization from the organization. So what attacker will do? He will not have any permissions or any boundaries. He will try to attack or do bad to the organization. Here ethical hacker is doing legally, and he will report the vulnerabilities inside the system or the application and report it to the organization. So he will report the findings responsibly. So an agreement will be done between the hacker and the organization, saying that a consent agreement will be done between the hacker and organization, saying that this is the scope. You have to test this application and report the vulnerabilities, and you have to test the complete application. So he will hide the tracks and avoid detection. Okay. What is the goal of the ethical hacker? He will try to improve the security posture of the organization or the application. What is his goal? He wanted to gain financial gain or personal or data theft. He will gain access to the confidential data. He will follow rules legally and ethically. He will break all the laws and causes harm to the application. So this is the main difference between the ethical hacker and the malicious hacker. Here ethical hacker means it is legally done. Attacker will illegally go to your application and destroy it. This is the main difference between ethical and non malicious hacking. So we have different types of hackers here. So as I told you, there are good and bad in cybersecurity industry. So we have recognized few categories of hackers. Let's say first one is the white hat hackers. What are white hat hackers? These are the ethical hackers. White hat hackers are nothing but ethical hackers. They work for the organizations. Okay. They work for the security firms, government agencies, banks. So what they will do, they will identify the vulnerability and will help the organization to improve the security posture. Okay. The second one is the black hat. That is nothing but malicious hacker. This hacker will illegally exploit those vulnerabilities for financial gain or stealing confidential data or for his personal benefit, whatever may be the reason. He is doing it illegally to gain the access. The third one is the gray hat hackers. So, what are gray hat hackers? They are somewhere in the middle of white and black hat. Okay, so they will identify the vulnerabilities without permission. Okay, they will do it without permission, but they will not cause any harm to the organization. Okay, instead what they will do it for uh, just disclose them to the organization instead of exploiting them. Okay, their intention is not bad, but they will try to access the application without any proper legal authorization. That is called gray hat. Gray hat is nothing but it is between white hat and black hat. He will do without authorization, but he will not exploit or gain or do not do any bad to the organization. The next one is the script kiddies. These are like inexperienced, let's say, like kiddies. They don't have any proper experience, but they will use publicly available hacking tools without any fully understanding. They will try to work. So let's say they will download a tool from the internet and try to click something to gain access towards the system. That is, without any proper experience, like lack of expertise, they will cause significant damage to the tools, right? Without any proper experience, you don't know what to do and what you will be accessing. Those are called script kiddies. The final one is the insider. Sometimes insider threat comes from inside the organization itself only. The insider can be doing it intentionally or for gaining money or whatever may be the reason, he will do it intentionally. He will have authorized access towards the applications he wanted to do. Intentionally, he will take the confidential data, he will sell it outside the world or organization. So instead of protecting company's data, he will be taking the authorization, he will be using his power to exploit it. Okay, these are the types of hackers which we have. So, ethical hacking methodology. So, till now we have understood ethical hackers and malicious hackers, right? What are the types of hackers which we have? So, we will, let's say, how a hacking will happen. That will have a methodology, right? So, before constructing a building, they will be planning something, right? This is the plan, this is the architecture, this is how I need to get a bedroom, this is the place where I need to have a hall. There is a planning for everything. The same way for ethical hacking also, there are few steps to be done. Before testing begins, the organization, what it will do, the security team will define the scope. What do you mean by scope? So, like which systems need to be tested? Like what is the IP address which needs to be included? What are the limits we have? Okay. When can testing be done? Okay, these are few questions before starting the hacking process. That is called the first step, planning phase. So where we need to test, what is the URL, IP address, everything comes under the scope. The second step is reconnaissance. As we discussed, reconnaissance is nothing but gathering of information about the target. Target is nothing but the application which you are trying to test, or which is publicly available sources like websites, LinkedIn profiles, GitHub repositories. Using publicly available information, we'll try to test it. The third phase is the scanning. Okay. Once we gather all the information, we'll be checking to discover if there are any vulnerabilities, like say some open ports are there, or let's say if we have some outdated softwares or weak credentials, software versions, everything, they will find out in the step of scanning. So the fourth phase is finding the vulnerabilities. So uh, the in the third step, while scanning, they will be finding which vulnerabilities are there and what are the things need to be scanned. In the fourth step, they will be finding the vulnerabilities. The tester will identify the weakness in the system, such as outdated software, whether he can perform SQL, databases, or insecure APIs, weak credentials. He will be finding the vulnerabilities. The fifth phase is called validation. This is very important step. So, automated scanners often generate false positives, right? Sometimes ethical hackers will verify them manually. Sometimes, like automated systems will detect everything. Some may be false, some may be true. But what ethical hacker will do, he will manually validate every report, every vulnerability before reporting. The final step is called reporting. This is often considered most important valuable deliverable. Why? In report, everything will be reported to the organization. These are the vulnerabilities that are present in the application or your organization. These are the fixes you need to do. These are the things we found, and will deliver a report explaining every weakness, how developers or uh, testers, those can fix and remediate immediately after finding the report. So let's take an example of university student portal. Okay. So let's say, imagine your university is launching some student portal. Okay. Student have to register for the courses, or they can view the attendance. Let's say they can pay the fees. They can download hall ticket. Everything can be done in the portal. Okay. So what does the portal contain? The portal contains the sensitive information of the student, right? Okay. So what the university will do? The second step is the university will hire a ethical hacker. So what ethical hacker will do? He will completely study the portal, identify the what technologies are used inside it, understand how students, faculties, and administrators will interact with the portal. Okay. Now the testing will begin. He will start testing the portal. So he will discover the weaknesses. Okay. For suppose he found some weakness in, let's say API is integrated in the portal. So he found some API is allowing some unauthorized data access. So he will find the vulnerability, let's say weakness. What he will do? He found the weakness, and again he will carefully document it. He will submit the report to the university. What university people will do? The developers or the people who worked on the portal will immediately check the report, and they will fix the issues in the development itself. Once the issues are fixed, then the portal will be released. This is how it is going to happen. So the first step, as I told you, reconnaissance. What information gathering will happen? This is called passive information gathering. So without your like consent, they're just gathering it from distance, not actively gathering information, but from a distance, they're just gathering all the information. So no packets to touch the target yet. So what are those? This is the information gathering phase. So hacking will not happen immediately. They will happen slowly, step by step. So what are the information gathering fields? The first one is the website. the company website or the organization website, he will check the website, what are there inside it. And the second one is the DNS records of the organization. Third one is the public emails, whether any public email is available. He will note down all the public IP addresses of the company. Next, GitHub leaks, like GitHub repositories. If any code or any repository is made public, he will check. And like technologies, what are the technologies used? Everything will be, he will be gathering all the information. Okay. So before we publicly post anything, we need to check, is the information, can we release this information publicly, or the hacker will try to gather all this kind of information where he can find some or the other loophole to come inside the system. Okay, this is the phase called reconnaissance. Whatever the publicly available information is there, he will try to gather it. The second step is scanning and enumeration. So once he get all the information gathered, what is the next step? The next step is called scanning. So what he will do? He will check for the open ports. He will check which services are running. He will check operating systems, which operating systems are being used, which versions of software are installed, or scanning a doctor. Like let's say a doctor will scan your report before going to meet him. Like he will check your diagnostic reports, right, or the test reports. Just like that, he will scan for everything. So before prescribing a treatment to you, a doctor will be checking your reports. The same way, he will be checking if there are any target system he can really target to, right? Enumeration is nothing but it attempts to extract detailed information, okay, from identified services such as open ports, running services, or targeted servers. Okay. What do you mean by vulnerability? We are discussing that we are identifying a vulnerability. What do you mean by vulnerability? Vulnerability is nothing but the weakness inside the system. Vulnerability, weakness. What is the weakness inside your body? Let's say, okay, the weakness may be a software, hardware, networks, anything for that case. It may be cloud also. Okay, cloud environment, applications, human behavior also. By mistakenly, if you click some link, that is also a weakness or vulnerability. So, a vulnerability doesn't mean that it is an attack. It is just a weakness where a attacker can go through it, or he can come inside the system using that weakness, right? So it is nothing but it is creating an opportunity for the attacker to come inside the system. But suppose you are using some weak password, let's say welcome 123. So it is easy for the attacker to guess, right? The second one is the outdated software. Suppose if you are not updating your software on regular basis, he can target them. You don't have any security patches installed in your outdated one. So he can target that outdated software. He will be checking for the open ports, unnecessary services, any misconfigurations. He will be checking for the misconfigurations, let's say cloud misconfigurations. So let's say if any cloud services are made public, he will be checking if any services are made public, if any data is available public, can I steal them? Missing multi-factor authentication. He will be checking if there is any multi-factor authentication is not available. Let's say if my account is not having multi-factor authentication, he stole my password. What will happen? He can log into my system, right? Easily he can log into my system. What happens if I have a multi-factor authentication? He cannot, though he have my password, he cannot log into my system without having a next factor of authentication, let's say OTP or some fingerprint or biometric, right? so he cannot log into my system. He will be checking if any account is not having a MFA. That is also a weakness. The final one is insecure APIs. Nowadays, every application is using a third party API. Okay. Uh, is there any misconfiguration over there? Or like nowadays, every application is depending on these kind of APIs. So if any authorization checks are missing in those APIs, or attacker may access those user data using those APIs, right? So that way he will try to find the vulnerability. Vulnerability assessment. So now that we understand what is vulnerability means weakness, right? The next question, how organization can find these vulnerabilities, right? How organization will identify them. This is vulnerability assessment is one of the process. Okay, this is a process of identifying the weakness inside the systems or applications or network traffic or cloud or databases, whatever we have. We have some tools, automated tools to assess these kind of issues which the organization is having. Okay, the main step of vulnerability assessment is identifying the identification. It's not exploiting anything, it is just identifying the weaknesses. Yes or no? Like there is no MFA for few accounts of the employees. Just identify and will assess the information. That's it. Okay. This is called vulnerability assessment. Let's say what the scanners or the tools will do. The tools will completely scan your website or the application. It will assess everything and it will show you what are the vulnerabilities which are there inside your system. So what will be the output? Let's say if you are having missing security patches, some employees are having outdated software, some employees are using weak passwords, and this is the configuration errors which you are facing. Everything will be shown. This is called assessment. This is called vulnerability assessment. The next stage is called penetration testing. So till now what we are doing, we are just finding the weakness and we are just assessing that, like vulnerability assessment. What are the weaknesses which are found? We are just listing out them, right? What is penetration testing? So I found a weakness, let's say a weak password. Okay, what penetration does? It will actively exploit the vulnerability which is found. Okay, the weakness towards the system. So the main objective here is, can the vulnerability be actually exploited? Yes or no? So we will be completely doing the vulnerability assessment. We'll be getting some, let's say 10 or 15 number of vulnerabilities which are found. In penetration testing, we will actually get which vulnerability can actually exploited by the attacker. Okay. Let's say if a door lock is weak. Okay. If a door lock is weak, how can you find that it is weak? We need to check by exploiting it. We'll try to unlock the door. Yes or no? We'll try to unlock it or exploit it. Then only we can understand that it is weak. Yes. So after finding after assessing and finding the weakness or vulnerability, the next stage is penetration testing. Will go deep inside the application and exploit it. So what ethical hackers will do? They will try to attempt the exploitation, or they will attempt for SQL injection inside the database, or they will test the authorization controls. They will be examining the APIs. They will be attempting privilege escalation. So whatever the vulnerability is found, they will be exploiting each and everything. And finally, what they will do? They will report it. These are the vulnerabilities which we found. These are okay. We found 15 vulnerabilities, out of which only 10 can be exploited. That means these are very critical ones. You need to fix them immediately. You got it? So vulnerability assessment is different and penetration testing is different. Both are of different technical ones. So let's understand what is the difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. What happens in vulnerability assessment? We may find as many issues as possible. Okay. What penetration testing will do? It will try to prove whether they are exploitable or not. Right? What is the approach we are using here in the vulnerability assessment? That is automated scanning. So the penetration testing is manual. Okay, this is manually done and it is a skilled exploitation done by the ethical hacker. Next, depth. This is broad and shallow coverage. This is narrow and deep. It will go deep investigation whether this can be exploitable by the attacker or not. Okay. As vulnerability assessment will be done by the system, every vulnerability will be scanned and we will get the report. But it is only done when it is exploitable. That is what penetration testing does. What is the output? It will give you the list of vulnerabilities which are present. But what is the output of penetration testing? It will give you the proof of concept and business impact. Okay, it will tell you this is the vulnerability which had happened. We try to exploit the vulnerability. After exploiting, we found that this issue might cause a business impact or some issue might cause a issue while running the business, or this might cause you a critical impact for your organization. What is the frequency? This is frequent and this is low cost. This can be done online. This is of higher cost. This has to be done periodically. Okay. So what are the types of penetration testing? So penetration testing is not limited to a website or the application. So organizations will operate many different technologies, right? So let's understand each type. First one is the network. Network penetration testing means it will focus on routers, switches, firewalls, servers, active directories, everything that comes under that case. So the goal is to identify the weakness in the network security. The second one is the web application penetration testing. Most of us will do, right? Logging into the systems like your university portals or authorization authentication like database cross-site scripting and file uploads, any business logic completely to the web or business applications. The third one is the API penetration testing. So nowadays, every application is communicating using an API. Okay. So like mobile applications, websites, payment systems, and cloud platforms, everything are relying on APIs nowadays. So what if an API authorization or authentication is broken? So excessive data exposure will happen here, right? So this is the API penetration testing. The next one is the mobile application testing. So it will examine Android and iOS mobiles. So what it will have? Data storage, your photos, everything will be tested throughout, right? And the next one is the wireless penetration testing, like Wi-Fi security. Okay. The next one is the cloud penetration testing. What do you mean by cloud? Every data is stored in cloud, right? We discussed yesterday and day before yesterday. Everything that comes under cloud, permissions, IAM permissions, and AWS. Nowadays, everything is in cloud, data stored. So these are the 6 types of penetration testing which we have. Next come OWASP top risk. What do you mean by OWASP? It's Open Worldwide Application Security Project. Okay, this is a non-profit organization. Actually, OWASP is a non-profit organization. So what it is doing, it will publish industry recognized guidance on secure software development. It will give the guidance for the secure software development. Here we'll have top 10 risks identified, but I mentioned the top 6 here. We'll have OWASP top 10. You can search it after this class. You can find OWASP top 10 risks which a company or application security risk based on the real world industry data. Let's discuss 6 of them here. First one is the broken access control. Okay, users are gaining access to the resources they should not be able to access. Let's say, for suppose I am one of the student. Let's say I'm student A. Okay, and there is another student B, for suppose. So the student A should not access the student B portal, right? The student A's and student B's should be different. The same way, yesterday I have shown you student and the faculty one, right? Student should not have access to or have the same permissions as given to the faculty. That is called broken access control. Is someone speaking? Ma'am, can you please be on mute? Thank you so
Hello.
much.
Maybe by mistake, ma'am, I have unmuted it.
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
Okay,
fine, ma'am.
okay.
I'll continue my session. So the second one is the cryptographic failures. So what is cryptography? Sensitive information is stored and transmitted without any proper encryption. Let's say uh, information will be transmitted from one place to another place, as we discussed yesterday. Data in transit. While transit, data should be encrypted properly. For suppose your Aadhaar card number or your PAN card or your debit card details, while transmitting from one place to another place, if it is not properly encrypted, then cryptographic failures will happen. The third one is the injection. So attackers, what they are trying to do, attackers are trying to inject malicious commands into the databases or applications. This is called SQL injection. The fourth one is called insecure design. Sometimes what will happen, the application itself is designed without any proper security. Okay. So let's say even correctly written code can have a poor architecture. The code is not having a proper validations. That is called insecure design. The next one is the security misconfigurations. Let's say by default passwords or publicly cloud storage, or if for application if debug mode is enabled during production, or improper server configuration. These are the common mistakes which happen in the security misconfigurations. And the sixth one is the vulnerable components. So, what do you mean by vulnerable components? Let's say application is having outdated libraries or outdated softwares or frameworks which are not publicly known. These are called vulnerable components. These are the 6 OWASP top risks. We'll have actually OWASP top 10 risks. You can check it after this class. Okay. Going to the next slide. API security. Nowadays, every application is talking to API. Every application is taking leverage of APIs nowadays. So every application is depending on APIs. So APIs are the main source of attackers. Okay. Let's say what is an API? API, for example, if you're going to a restaurant, okay, you will try to order your food, right? Waiter will come to you and take your order and will go to the kitchen and will get you the food to your table, right? That is called, the waiter here is called API. You will not go to the kitchen directly and get your food, right? The waiter will do it for you. That is called API. The client will talk to the API gateway. Okay, this acts as a gateway between the client and the application. What if the API is missing authorization checks? The data or the username, passwords, everything will get leaked or exposed, right? So that is the first step we need to verify in the API security. Okay, before the application interact to the database, the client will go through the API gateway. So before, let's say, for example, we have seen Canva, right? Okay. Before logging into Canva, Canva asked me to log in from Google account, or you can continue using your Google account. That is an API gateway. That Google is what the Google is doing. It is acting between me and Canva. It is passing the request from me to Google and Google to Canva. And Canva will interact with its database. You got it? This is these are the steps how API is interacting from client to the application. So what API security will require? API security will require strong authentication, proper authorization, input validation. Input validation means proper input validation should be required. For suppose if we have an upload option, let's say, so the application is allowing every file to be uploaded. Let's say if I am trying to upload a photo of mine to Instagram, let's say. So what it should validate? It should validate only PNG or JPG files. Yes or no? But what if it is not validating anything? And what if attacker founds or find any vulnerability there? Okay, he found that there is a weakness here. I can upload any file instead of a photo. Then what he will do? He will try to upload some malicious executable file. What will happen? The system will get compromised. So input validation is very much required. Okay. The next one is encryption. So after input validation, you should be make sure that the data is encrypted between client and the API to the application. So that though the attacker tries to access it, he cannot decrypt the data or he cannot read it. Okay, this is what API security means. So this is completely VAPT workflow. Okay, VAPT means vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Okay, so organizations don't perform security testing randomly. It will follow a process. So it is called VAPT. The first step is planning. As I have told you, we'll have a scope, objective, timeline. What is the testing environment? What is the URL? What are the IP address we are working on? Everything will be covered under the scope before testing the application. That is called planning. So it is extremely important before trusting the production system. Okay. The second one is the scanning. As I told you, security professionals collect all the technical information about the systems. Like if there are any outdated software, applications, APIs, operating systems, services which we are using. And the third step is validation. So as I told you, in the vulnerability assessment phase, the tools will automatically detect all the possible vulnerabilities. Like whether it is true or false, everything will be listed over there. So, what is the next step? It will report what the hacker or the ethical hacker should do. He will need to manually test each and every vulnerability before it is reported to the organization. Okay. For example, if a tool reports 15 issues or 15 vulnerabilities, he have to check everything. He have to exploit everything manually if this can be exploitable or not. And then he has to report it. The report, what the report will include, the executive summary of the issue happened, the vulnerability details, the severity levels, what is the business impact, and any screenshots of the evidence. Everything will be written. The remediation steps also will be written in the report. Okay. Then the remediation will be done by the company or the organization on for the application or the website. Then again they will do retest. Once the developer fixes all the issues which are found in the VAPT workflow, after fixing all the issues, they will retest it again. Okay, this is how VAPT workflow will happen. So VAPT report. Okay, let's see a VAPT report. I'll show you one. Okay, this is the reconnaissance report. The first step, as I told you, is gathering of information. What the report will contain? The report will contain the target website which they are trying to perform the scan on, the testing on. Okay, they will also note down the target IP address. So what they are going to perform? Web application penetration test, VAPT. What is the status? It is still in progress. The report is classified as confidential. So what are the engagement details? So what is the name of the project? What is the scope? And what is the website? Who is testing it? What are the phase which is happening? This is reconnaissance, passive and active. When did this happen? This has happened on June. So we'll have an executive summary of what has been done. So the primary object of the security assessment is to identify, evaluate the document vulnerabilities within the defined scope that they could be leveraged by the malicious threat attackers. So what comes under the scope and objectives? So passive intelligence gathering and the active intelligence gathering. Okay. The next step is methodology. Okay. Passive reconnaissance. You can see the DNS and the subdomain enumeration. They're gathering information from the DNS and the subdomain and the infrastructure resolution. And we have web fingerprinting here, web application firewall print filtering also. Okay, next one is the target infrastructure. What is the target infrastructure? The operating system they're trying to do. Ubuntu software, web server is this, and the framework and the environment. This is the staging environment which they are testing on. What is the application footprint? So, or functionality. So after analysis, the web application structure, here is what they find it. So the password field is identified in a plain text. What should be done for the password field? It should be encrypted, right? Or it should be hashed. But the password field is appearing here. The next one. So session management. It is a demo site session and it is HTTPS only. Okay, the header anomaly missing, strict headers are missing here, and you can see the evidence here. HTTP only, it is not HTTPS, and the password field is directly showing the password. Okay, there is no proper encryption. This is the active reconnaissance using GoBuster tool. The target domain is this, and the tooling is GoBuster. Okay. So high priority infrastructure and configuration leakage. This is what the exposure level is. Okay. Exposure level is high. The HTTP is 200 okay. And this is also okay. This is upload medium. And the demo, it is also confirms active presence of staging and demo features. So during login, what happened? The primary web authentication interface verified as high priority. As the password is showing directly, so this is shown as high priority. And phase conclusion, and it's evidence. Okay, this is completely a reconnaissance report. And let me show you VAPT finding. Okay, this is a VAPT report. So what does the VAPT report shows? Vulnerabilities, the list of vulnerabilities which had happened. So what is covered under the scope? The target website, ID, IP address, engagement type, it is VAPT, and the testing status, it is still in progress. Okay. So executive summary of what has been done. As I have mentioned you, it is classified under OWSP API security top 10. Okay. So what had happened? Broken object property level authorization, excessive data exposure happened here in this case. So it is a healthcare application. So PHI law applies here. There is a significant regulatory and privacy exposure of the client data. So what is the scope of testing? Website and all. What is the methodology they are using? They are using burp suit tool, okay, for testing it. So they are targeting every reachable area of the application, pages, workflows, everything. So what they are doing? So they found excessive data exposure in API response. As I told you, API security is very important. APIs can expose your data directly. So what does OWSP classification do? Broken object property level authorization. So exposing excessive data exposure. What is the description? What had happened here? The description. And here we can mention the current severity is high and critical. That should be immediately remediated and fixed. So they are using Firefox route traffic using burp suit using Firefox proxy. So here is the evidence. This is the target application screen which they are trying to take it. Okay. And after using the tool, here you can see they are using a post request on this URL. I think you can see the screen. This is the URL they're trying to do, and the method is post request, and they're getting the patient list. After getting the list of the patient, here you can see the data, the list of the patient completely, the name, address, gender, email, address, everything, including the insurance details and the payer code, payer phone number, everything is visible in the post request. That should not be done, or that should be encrypted. So what happens if a hacker is trying to use the same tool? He can get all the access towards the patient data, right? And when they tried the get request from the user, okay, here they can see admin user details are exposed. Here you can see the role as admin who is trying to do, and the API is active. The password I cannot show you, but the password field is directly shown. So if I am trying to log in with my username and password, it is directly showing the username is so and so and the password is so and so. So that should not be done, right? Leaking of passwords. So that is a high critical one. So what happened here? Unauthorized disclosure of protected healthcare information. So this is a regulatory exposure, data protection and healthcare privacy obligation will be done. This is the impact on the business. This is how the VAPT report is going to be. Okay. Hang on. So based on the issue happened, they will be reporting the recommendation, what needs to be done. So as I told you, the data is completely visible when you do a get request. What they need to do, excessive data exposure, they need to encrypt the data else, or they need to hide it using some random values or hash values. Yes, this is how they will identify. The next one, industrial tools which we use for VAPT. Just now I have shown you they have been using burp suit for vulnerability assessment. And we have different other tools like Nmap, OWASP Zap, and Nessus and Wireshark. These are hands-on tools which we have for VAPT testing. Next, coming to the interesting topic, digital forensics. I think you people have heard about forensics, right? Yes or no? So, while coming to the word forensics, immediately what question will raise in your mind, right? Something issue had happened, let's say, some issue happened. What will be your immediate question? Okay, someone stolen the confidential information from the organization. Immediately, the other person will come and ask, what happened? When did it happen? How did the attacker try to enter? Which systems were affected? And who is responsible for all these things? So these questions will be answered through digital forensics. Okay. This is a scientific process. This process is for identifying, collecting, and preserving the digital evidence. So the objective here is simple, to repair the systems. Okay. The investigation, what the investigation will do. Digital forensics will reconstruct the digital events with scientific rigor. Okay. The main things for the digital forensics is investigator, laptops, logs, and evidence. Let's see what are there. So, what are the types of digital forensics? We have different types of digital forensics here. Let's understand one by one. Okay. Network forensics. What it will do? Network forensics will examine the network traffic, right? How attackers communicated or moved through the systems, or how attackers transferred the data through the network traffic. This comes under network forensics. Coming to cloud forensics. What do you mean by cloud? So every organization is using cloud, right? So storing information in cloud platforms, they're using AWS, Microsoft, everything, cloud storage, logs, services, virtual machines, IAMs. These all comes under cloud forensics. Next is mobile forensics. What does mobile contain? What does it contain? So mobile will have the evidence like messages, call logs, application data, GPS history, photos, or any deleted content in any mobile. These all comes under mobile forensics. What is malware forensics? This will focus on if any malicious software is installed in your system. So what investigators will do? Investigators will enter the organization and check if any malware is installed in the system. What the malware do and how did it communicated to external systems. Okay. Next is the disk forensics. Disk means nothing but hard disk or storage devices. Okay. If there are any investigator will try to recover deleted files from the disk hard drive or any examine the files or check if there is any malicious hack activity happening inside the disk. Going to the next slide. What do you mean by the digital evidence? What is digital evidence? In general, in the physical crimes which happens, there will be evidence, right? So the police will go inside the room and check for the evidence. Like, let's say he found a gun or he found some traces of blood or something else. Here in this digital forensics, what we will do, what the investigator will do, he will find a digital evidence. What does the digital evidence means? Some system logs, right? Email, email records, firewall logs, firewall data, cloud records or cloud activity logs. Who did what? Uh, from where did he do? Who deleted or edited which file? Okay, the browsing history, the USB files. When did the USB get connected? Okay, the authentication logs, application, database logs. file timestamps. Timestamps are very important in the digital evidence. They can see when did it happen and at what time. Okay, every file timestamp will be recorded. So basically, the investigators can recover the deleted files also. Okay, this way they were trying to get all these logs. They will try to get the evidence from each and every source. This is called a digital evidence. What is the digital investigation process? How it can be done? So we till now understood what is a digital evidence, right? So how investigators actually conduct an investigation? Okay, first step is called identification. What do you mean by identification? The investigators will try to identify the system which was involved in the incident. Let's say first step is identifying. What do you mean by that? Which laptop is compromised? They will identify which laptop has been compromised, or which server is attacked, or which employee account is used for this purpose, or which cloud resource was affected. Everything they will be identifying first. The first step is called identification. Second step is called collection. The second step is collection. Collection means evidence identified will be collected carefully using forensic tools. What are those forensic evidence collection? Just like USB drives, memory dumps, if any, firewall logs or email logs, right? Authentication logs, cloud activity, who did what in the cloud, or the mobile devices, if any. So, what investigators will do? Investigators will try to collect all the identified evidences here. Next, they will try to preserve. After identifying and collecting, what they need to do? They need to preserve the evidence somewhere, right? Before preserving, they have to make sure that the evidence they collected should be same. They should be unchanged. No one should change the evidence. Yes or no? So for this, what they will do? They will investigate. Investigators will calculate cryptographic hash values. They will be hashing everything using SHA 256. After copying everything in a folder or an evidence, they will be hashing the values or encrypting it so that no one will be changing the actual evidence. The next step is, after collecting it, after preserving it, they need to analyze the evidence. What they need to do for analyzing? So how did the attacker try to enter the system? Let's say which vulnerability is exploited. They will try to analyze using the evidences they have received. What files they accessed. Okay, what data is stolen. Any malware is installed or not. Everything will get analyzed in the fourth step. And the final step is reporting. The what they will do after doing all these steps, analysis and everything, the investigator will report everything. What the report will contain: timelines, evidence which is collected, and the technical findings, any, what should be the root cause of the issue, what is the assessment they have done, what are the recommendations they are giving to us. Okay, this is the process of digital investigation. The next one is the chain of custody. What do you mean by chain of custody? Let's say a police, in a physical crime case, let's say a police uh, recovered a weapon, let's say a gun, from the crime scene. What he need to do? So he need to document it, right? He found a gun or a weapon inside the room where it is stored. He had to store it and handle it and document it and then present it to the court. Yes or not? The same way in digital forensics, what a chain of custody means. The evidence which is collected has to be hashed, right? Has to be hashed and then stored and then analyzed and finally presented to the court. Okay? As in physical crime scene, how it happens, the same way in the digital crime scene or the digital forensics also the same process will happen, but here it is the digital evidence. What was collected, who collected it, okay? What is the date and time, location, where did we collect the information, where are the storage details, and transfer between the individuals. Everything, every evidence has to be hashed, stored at a particular place using a digital fingerprint, and then will be analyzed and presented to the court. What will happen if you don't document it properly? You cannot present it to the court, right? So this is called chain of custody. The next one is incident response life cycle. So what do you mean by incident response? Whenever an incident happens, okay, what do you need to do immediately? The first step is called preparation. Organization prepare before the incidents occur. Let's say what they prepare. They include policies, right? Backup strategies or security awareness to the complete employees inside the organization. They will monitoring tools. They'll have monitoring tools. They will have incident response teams and the contact list. So organization prepare before any incident occur. They will prepare for all these things. Okay. The second one is the detection. So security monitoring systems, what they will do, they will identify the suspicious activity. I just told you, Microsoft Defender is identifying the suspicious activity. Let's say it is identifying a phishing email and sending it to the quarantine, not the inbox of the user. So this way, security monitoring systems will be identifying the suspicious activity. Let's say multiple failed login attempts. Someone trying to log in to my account. If there are more than 4 or 5 login attempts, then it will be suspicious. The account will be locked, right? Any large data transfers from one user to the another user. This is called detection. The third one is the analysis. So we will check if the issue is correct or not. Is it malware or a normal file or normal executable file? Is the data properly stolen or not? Okay, we need to analyze every issue. Next is the containment. So we need to stop the attack from spreading, right? Once the attack happened to one of the system, we need to stop it. How to do that? So if attack had happened in my system, let's say, first what I need to do, I need to disconnect the infected systems first. I need to block the IP address without like without entering the complete infrastructure inside the company. Like I need to get it limited to my laptop only. I need to disconnect with the IP address also. So I need to disable compromised account. If my account is compromised, I need to disable first. I need to reset my password. That is called containment. Next, eradication. How do you eradicate these kind of issues? So a root cause. Investigator will try to remove the root cause of the issue. First, let's say my system is the root cause of the issue. What will I do? I will try to remove the malware from the system. Let's say, okay, or will close the vulnerabilities inside the system. I'll try to reset my password, let's say, or will apply security patches immediately. If that is limited, you have to find the root cause and you have to eradicate the issue. And then recovery. What did the lesson we learn from the incident which had happened? What happened? Why did it happen? How did it happen? We need to recover from the incident and we need to learn the lesson. Okay, next time, whenever these kind of issues happen, we need to be careful in these kind of aspects. Let's say if there is any fire emergency from so and so place. So we have to prepare a fire drill before itself, right? We will set up some fire detection alarm, smoke alarms, right? How can you eradicate or how can you recover? We will be repairing the building itself. What is the lesson you learned from the case? Improving the safety measures. We'll improve more and more safety measures to eradicate these kind of issues. So let's see an attack story of HR portal breach. Let's say a HR portal has been launched. Okay. So what HR portal does? Employees use it for leaves, applications, salary slips, personal information will be there in the HR portal. Okay. So one employee chooses a weak password, let's say. Okay. He chose some welcome 123 or password 123. So attacker can easily guess the password, right? Okay. Attacker guessed the password. He tried to gain access towards the system. So what he is doing? Attacker downloads the confidential employee information inside the HR portal. So what Security Operations Center SOC detects? The Security Operations Center notices an unusual activity. Why complete database has been downloaded? This is an anomalous activity, right? So Security Operations Center will detect the unusual activity. So the employee account suddenly downloads thousands of records suddenly at midnight at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, let's say. This will trigger an alert. So what IR team, incident response and forensic team will do? They will begin to investigate. First, what is the step they will do? They will check the compromised account. Let's say Deepika's account has been compromised and the data has been downloaded from Deepika's account. First, they will try to isolate the account or disable my account initially. Okay. Affect the servers nearby are also isolated. They will try to collect the logs. The investigating team will try to collect the logs from that, and the forensic investigator will try to analyze the timeline. So next time, what the lesson did we learn from this? They will investigating team will generate a report. What did the lesson we learn from them? We need to reset passwords every time, or we need to enable multi-factor authentication for every employee in the HR portal. Yes, even though attacker knows the password, he cannot log in without multi-factor authentication or the OTP, let's say, or fingerprint. Okay, this is how we need to fix the issue. What are the career opportunities we have here? We have different career opportunities here. SOC analyst, security analyst, pen testers, digital forensic officers, cloud security officers, and security architects. We have different types of career opportunities here. Like SOC analyst will monitor security events and response to alerts, and security analyst will perform risk assessments and security reviews. And pen tester, as I told you, will conduct ethical hacking kind of things. And digital forensics investigator will do analyze the cyber incidents which had happened and the digital evidences. He will collect everything and he will try to remediate the issue. And the cloud security engineer, he secures AWS, cloud, Azure, Microsoft, everything. So the security architect, what he will do, he will design the security enterprise system, security strategies. So everything will be secure. These are the career opportunities which we have in today's. So here are the key takeaways from the today's session. So authorization defines ethical hacking. So hacking means not bad. Ethical hacking is also good. The ethical hackers will have complete authorization to test the reports application. Sorry. So next, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Vulnerability assessment will find the issue and penetration testing will prove the issue. Okay. Next is the evidence integrity is everything. Finding the evidence. What is the evidence? What is digital evidence? And IR, incident response is a life cycle. It is not an event. It is a life cycle. It always continues. So AI is cutting both ways. The same models defender can do and the attacker. So AI can be used by the hacker, attacker, and as well as the ethical hacker also. So it can be both good and bad. Okay. So thank you so much. I'm done with my session. Any questions from your side?
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. As this is today is the last session, please connect by 12:45, ma'am, for valedictory session. I request you
Sure,
to
ma'am.
join for that
Okay.
also, ma'am. Yeah, thank you
Definitely,
so
ma'am.
much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I extend warm welcome to Mr. Amit Chandra sir for today's session. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sweta, to welcome me again to this session.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, sir.
today, we probably with this session, we come to an end of our cybersecurity FDP session. But I will tell you that whatever you have gone through, whatever the awareness we are able to give you, try to implement those one into your universities. Cybersecurity is all about the best practices with the whenever you are going to use the devices, application, or any kind of things within your premises, how careful you should be so that you don't open a window for an attacker to attack your application platform server database. Okay, because nowadays data has become a very important part. It is a kind of golden asset, and everyone as a team need to be make sure that there should not be any kind of data breach. So, considering that, let me share my screen because today's topic is also very important where we have to go through. This is one of the important topic which I want to explain you, and I want to see that how prepared you are for this particular law, which is going to be implemented by May 13, 2027. So today's topic is all about data protection, privacy, governance, and compliance. So basically, from this topic, you come to know that the government is talking about how an organization is protecting the data, whereas they are considering about the privacy of the user or the privacy of the data. And for in order to maintain the protection and privacy of the data for the student or the staff member who are part of the university, government has come up with a few kind of compliance, and that compliance is known as the DPDPA compliance, which is going to be live by next year, that is May 13. And it will be the responsibility for any for all the kind of organization, whether it is a university, college, any industry organization. It will be the responsibility that they bound with the rules and regulations of the government. Otherwise, there will be a huge penalty which the entity has to pay to the government, and they will be responsible to justify the thing. So before we can go ahead, and I know this is going to be a new DPDP subject to you. Let's take an example of I have given my example over here as a student. It's been a long time that I have passed out from a college, but so that you will be able to understand more. I have explained my journey as a student, and suppose I have joined the university in 1998. This is my passing year of 10th, not the university year. So don't consider that one. So when I joined an university, what are the process I have to go through, the life cycle of mine? It all started with the admission process. Okay. Then it goes to the enrollment and registration, then whatever the academic activity which is being performed, and safety compliance which we have to write on, along with the campus life and journey, library usage, browsing, hostel, transportation, along with the financial information, digital touch point, what I have mentioned you all about biometric, multi-factor authentication, user ID, password, Wi-Fi. All these are the digital touch point, whereas the post and study and alumni. So these are the entire touch point where, as a student, I shared my information to the university. So if I talk about a particular admission process now, then you can see that during the admission process, as a student, I have to fill up the application form where I give my personal detail, that is the name, date of birth, gender, contact detail, address, email, phone, academia, 10th, 12th, graduation, ID proof, photograph, signature, whether it is digital, whether it is manual, but we have to give all kind of details during the admission process. Then during the enrollment, we have to say that which course we are trying to give enrollment number, category code, fee payment details, bank account, payment information, all those things are required. During our academia activities, it's all about the class attendance, mark sheet, projects, examination course, certificate. Safety compliance is we give our emergency contact number, our father, mother contact number, whom they can connect with, health record, insurance information. We used to give ID card, CCTV footage, during our life in campus and services. It's all about when we take a bus transportation, we give our detail for that. We if you are applying for swimming pool, if you are applying for any kind of club, gym, those information. Whereas the financial information considering the fee structure, we do sometimes we do the kind of automated payment system, okay, where the five fees get automatically deducted. Digital touch point is our face biometric registration, photos, user ID, password, email ID, all those things. So all those things are being collected and stored by the university. Okay. And what and in this, if I talk about what are the details which are personal to me as a student, I have the ownership of those data. Are the first of all the contact details. Okay. Then my academic record, financial information, digital activities, behavioral data, that what I am doing at this, when I log in, when I log out. Okay, that is the behavioral, my nature of work, my location, health data, all those things belongs to me only. And the university is maintaining all this data in order to track me within the organization, within the university, till the time my journey is with the university. But the questions come is that when I pass out from the university, what will happen to this data? Okay, how a student or I will be make sure that whatever the data which is being collected by the university or any kind of industry institute, whether they are handling my data properly or they are not going to misuse. How it could be possible that if someone hacker hacked the data, then whether he will get all kind of details of mine, and based on that, either he can send some junk email to me, he can just send SMS to me, WhatsApp to me, and I can be track out, right? So, and this is my personal data, and I have the ownership of the data, I own that data. So how the data journey should be of a particular person, whether it is a student, staff member, anything within the particular entity, that is all about the DPDPA journey is all about, which has been brought on. So before we can go ahead with the DPDPA cases, a few of the recent news I would like to highlight in my this session is that one of the data expose happen is with the IIT Roorkee, okay, where 30,000 student data has been exposed, including the mobile number, email ID. So this is then indicative information which I have been taken out from few of the sources, where it is there is a JEE Advanced 2006 large Indian data breach happened, whereas the Indian bank customer data breach happened, where you have seen that the customer details or the candidate details are being affected and being used by the hackers, okay, for their personal use. You might have seen that when we go to a mall or any kind of tourist area, then some person comes to us and asks us to fill up a form and ask us that we will give and we will win something out of that. But we give our email ID, we give our phone number, we give our name in that card, and after later on we get so many phone calls from different entities stating that these are the offerings from our entity. Okay. So those kind of things are very difficult in order to manage for an industry where you yourself give an information to an entity to use that one. So the type of personal data, as I said, which are collected during these are student and employee record, your ID proof, communication data, academic data, financial data, and sensitive data, that are fingerprints. And so all this data are very important. And what DPDA relation says to you and in university is that you have to protect the data of student and faculty. You have to make sure that whatever the data of the student related to the admission and examination system, that should also be secured, so that from nowhere it could be linked with a particular student or faculty member. Okay. Whenever you are going to deal with the third party, you have to make sure that whenever the data is being used by the third party, they should follow the NDA, non-disclosable agreement of the university, and they should not pass your personal data to some other entity. Sweta, I'm audible, right? There is no disturbance.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you are.
Just give me a second.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. Sorry. I have to lock the room. Uh, and then when you are managing with the third party vendors, then you have to make sure that they use the personal data of the student or the staff member properly, and they don't share it with any kind of other parties, and they follow the NDA. Whereas there should not be any kind of report of personal data breach, and because of which you will be able to build the compliance for the student and the faculty member, and that is very important. Okay. Earlier we don't think much of all kind of things because there is no kind of regulations in place. But looking into the scenario how the personal data is getting compromised for the personal advantage of the industry, and government has become very strict on this, and they have implemented the DPDPA compliance. This complete session is to explain you about the DPDPA compliance, so that you will be aware of this particular compliance, and you can act immediately. And in that journey, if you need any kind of help, then IDS is going to provide you support on that. And you will be happy to know that I am a certified data protection officer. I know that how to protect the personal data of the student and faculty. So we can get in touch and we can provide you all the support, whatever is required in order to protect the data of student and faculties. Okay. So let's begin with what's privacy actually today is. So when we talk about privacy, we keep on saying that when we go to any hotels at that time, we used to share our Aadhaar card. In that Aadhaar card, all the informations are there, and we give it to the person, and he keep it with him. He take the photocopy and keep it with the hotel management. But what happened to that data? We don't know. It could be misused for any kind of purposes, right? So in that way, now the privacy has become became an legal entity. Okay, you need to make sure that all the personal data of a person comes under the legal entity, whether it is DPDP Act, whether it is ISO, whether it is SOC, all those kind of compliances are in order to protect the personal data of the person. Okay. Also, you need to encrypt the data. You have to take care of all the security measures so that the data should not be breached, whether it is from the encryption, access control, breach detection response, or vendor risk. This could be done with the help of technology, with the help of blockchain, with the help of other medium, whether if you are using any kind of cloud system, data center, you need to make sure it is been done. Whatever the application you are developing, it should be privacy by design. You need to make sure that the APIs call are done with the help of token encryption, and there will be a kind of cookie management which get disabled automatically. Okay. This will directly give you advantage on building the customer trust and brand of your particular university. All the data will be a data-driven growth. Anytime you will be able to click within one click, you will be able to know about the growth of the university data growth, and it should be a proposed driven. Okay, for what particular purpose you are collecting the data from the person, whether it is the student or the college staff. Okay. Now let's come into our main topic, that is the DPDPA Act. So as I said, that DPDPA Act is to be governed by every organization. Okay, that process digital personal data of individuals in India. This is very important to know that DPDP Act 2023 is applicable to all those organization, whether it is academia, whether it is any kind of private entity, not the government entity, private entity, who are processing the personal data of an employee or a student digitally. Okay. If you're storing the data digitally, then you have to make sure that you protect the data and you come under this DPDPA Act. And who is managing this entire particular DPDP compliance? That there is a board of data protection board, which look after that whether a particular organization is following this compliance or not. And this data protection board directly report to the Supreme Court. It is going to be mandated by 13th May 2027. So we know that we are left with very few weeks. That is the 44 weeks we are left with. And in between this, the organization has to make sure that they are be ready with all the kind of compliance. And looking into that scenario, you can find out that you are into a cut to cut basis where you have to start from now, so that your organization will be a DPDPA compliance by 13th May 2027. Because after that, the data protection board can come up to you and ask for the data, and you have to make sure that data are bound to DPDPA compliance. So what DPDPA compliance says that it should be a valid consent every time. Okay. It means that whenever you are collecting the data from the person, you have to explicitly mention that for what purpose you are collecting the data. Okay, that is very important. Suppose you are collecting the data for inquiry or for inquiry purpose, then you can't use those data for the marketing purpose. You can't use those data for other things. So it should be explicitly mentioned that whatever the data you are collecting, for what purpose it is. If you are collecting the data for multiple purpose, then all those purpose should be mentioned into your consent whenever you take the consent. Okay. And it should be available in 22 Indian languages. Your consent should be available in 22 Indian language. It means that if the candidate is Bengali, then he can click on the Bengali language and he can read that. He or she can read that. Based on the understanding of the consent, it is the choice of the user to either withdraw, accept that one, or deny that one. You might have seen that whenever you go any kind of website and you register for the first time, then you get a click. You just click, you tick that box, and then you are able to generate your account. Otherwise, you will not be able to generate the account. But as a human, we don't go through the details of that. But I will request you that you read all those details very carefully, and down the line you will be seeing that there will be a lot of fatigue consent which will be coming to you in order to get the consent of different kind of platform where you are enrolled. Okay. And this same process the your university also has to follow, and you have to make sure that you take the consent from all the student parents or staff member when this law is going to become, and you have to start preparing for now. As I said, that the consent should be purpose driven and there will be a life cycle of that. Okay. So once the person given the consent, after that, after a certain duration of time, if he or she wants to remove the consent, then he will be able to do that one. So there will be a kind of provision where if he says that I don't want my data to be kept with the university, then you will be able to remove those data as a organization. Okay. There are few data which are legally bound, which can be used for which need to be kept for many years, that you can keep. For example, some data, financial data, or some data which you feel that it will be used for our audit purpose. For example, marks of the student. Okay. So marks of the student is something they can ask anytime in duration of their career. So those kind of data with a particular reason, you can keep it with you. Once you have the data breach, suppose some data has been leaked from your end as an organization, then it's the responsibility that you notify to the board, data protection board, by by 72 hours breach line. Okay, you have to at least you have to send a mail to them that something has happened into your platform. You are taking care of that. Okay. So in this way, you have to make sure that from day one, when the user has given the consent, he can access, correct, erase their data. Okay. And your platform should have this right to do that one. Okay. Now let's look into this one. This is something which is very important in terms of financial obligation, which is going to be come to an organization. The maximum penalty is around 250 crores, and it is been segregated in a different kind of schedule. If you are able to failure to prevent the data breach, it is 250 crore. If you are unable to notify about the breach to the data protection board, it is 200 crore. If the children is under 18 years and you are able to and you violated the data of the children, it is 200 crore. If the SDF non-compliance, it means the data fiduciary. Data fiduciary, it means your data fiduciary is the organization who is keeping the data. So if they are non-compliance, if the data protection board comes and check that, okay, you are not compliant with the DPDP law, then it will be 150 crore with a justification. And any other violation, it is going to be 50 crore. So you can correlate this DPDP Act with GDPR Act, which has been implemented in the European countries. Okay, where now all the organization who European organization are bound to follow this GDPR compliance, and they have did that one. So the same way, Indian organization, whether it is university, whether it is industry, private industry, they have to bound with this kind with law. Now, how this DPDP law comes into picture? It should have a roadmap, right? That started where somewhere, and then it has traveled this journey and come into in place. So it started with Puttaswamy judgment, where on 2017 he mentioned that privacy has become a fundamental right based on the privacy leakage which was happening at that time. Then a committee was formed in 2018, which was a Sri Krishna committee, and at that time the committee has decided on a first data protection framework. Okay, and this framework was presented into the Joint Parliament Committee where a PDP bill was introduced. Okay, personal data protection report was presented to the Joint Parliament Committee, and that Joint Parliament Committee report was on 2021. It was being legislated Boden. Okay, in 2022, the draft DPDP bill was created, and it was simplified based on all the reports which has been received from 2017 to 2021, and it was for the public consultation. Okay, it means to take the public review. In 2023, the DPDP Act was intact enacted in means that it was made that DPDP comes into picture, and now at 2025 the DPDP rules were notified to all the organizations that it is going to be operational by May 2027. And currently we are at 2025 to 2026, where the implement and enforcement are happening. There are a lot of awareness sessions which are going on, and we as an organization, IDS as an organization, we make sure that our organization is DPDP compliance. Along with that, our, as our resources are data protection officers, then our duty is to make sure that all the other entities who are not DPDP compliant, we make sure that they become the DPDP compliance with our consultancy services along with our platform, that is consent management platform, and the name is iConcentra. So by that platform, you will be easily able to be a DPDP compliance, and you will be able to make sure that your organization, university, has the visibility that all the activities or all the rules which are part of DPDP compliance, you are able to easily find out in through that platform, and it makes sure that you are not able to breach any kind of data, and it will be notified you in an advance. Okay. Now, how university falls under the DPDPA compliance? As I said, that if the university is holding the digital data of of the student or the staff, then that comes under the DPDPA compliance. Okay. And we know that everything is digital now, so we can't run out of it. And we have to come under the DPDPA compliance. So what are the personal data? As I said, it's all about the student data, it's the faculty and staff data, it's the parents and guardian information, it's all about the financial data, biometric data, digital data, third-party data. We share the third-party data, or also we integrate with the third-party data, some of the online and website data. Okay. Why DPDP compliance is necessary for the university? Because you follow or you don't follow, or you accept or don't accept, it's a law. So it's a legal obligation. It's a law. DPDP is a law. So you like it or don't like it, you have to follow the parameters which are there into the law. The second thing is that it makes sure that you build a trust against your business partners, or also against your student, faculty members, or staff, that their data is secure. It is also to better governance. It means that it gives you a clear idea that 10 years back, who are the student who has given their consent, and whether you require those consent now or not, or what are the things you can do with that. We are keeping adding lots of data into our server, and we don't know our server is getting huge, increasing day by day, and we don't think of cleanup. So with this kind of law, you will be having a better understanding that what are the data you have to keep, what are the data you have to clean up. Okay. It will also help the university to support the digital transformation. Okay. It ensures that adoption of the technology, cloud services are fast. You bound with all the security features of the cloud, and you upfront ask the vendor about all those things. Okay. And one of the most important thing is that university as an alone will not able to achieve the DPDPA compliance, because it's a legal thing. It's a practice. A lot of practice are required, and you require a certain kind of partnership where the company is going to prepare you for a DPDP compliance. And that's why I keep on saying that IDS is one of a partner for you, to whom you will able to collaborate, and you will be make sure that your university is DPDP compliance by next year, because it takes time. It takes around 40 to 45 weeks to go through. There are a lot of steps for an organization to follow in order to be a DPDP compliance, which I'm going to cover. This is also helpful for you to avoid any kind of penalties, as I also already mentioned that how the penalty, how much is the penalty. Okay. And also you you upfront say that to a student or a staff that your personal data is protected with us, and whenever you want, we will delete it based on the rules and regulations. Okay. So what DPDP gives? DPDPA gives to a individual. It gives a right to access. Anyone can access their data which they have given to an organization. They can correct the data if somehow some data they want to correct. Okay. If they want to give write access, they can do that one. They can erase their data if they want that. I don't want the services from this company, then they can erase that one. It can also gives them that they can raise a grievance that my data need to be deleted, or there's some certain kind of doubt the user has. So they can raise a grievance, and that can be taken care of by the organization. Okay. So this is how the university falls under the DPDPA compliance. And why I'm taking much time to explain you about this, because this is nowadays become a critical law, and you like it or not like it, this is going to happen by next year. Okay. Now, what are the damage it can do to the academia side? It can damage in six front. Okay, there are other fronts also, but I mentioned top of the six front. One is the financial risk. The penalty will be imposed to the university's industry. So anyhow, the penalty has to be paid. It can disturb your daily operations. The data protection officer, the data protection board can come to you and ask you to stop the server and all those kind of things. They can say until unless you present the compliance report to them. So unfortunately, it is going to stop your operational risk. It will also impact your reputation, that data protection board can mark you as into a gray area, saying that they are not following the DPDP compliance, and somehow a law will again come where they will give the list of the universities or industry who are not DPDP compliance. That could come. We don't know. Another one will be the business risk. Wherever you are going to partnership, collaborate, or do a business, they can ask you for the DPDP compliance report. So you will not able to qualify whether it is any kind of government RFP you are submitting. Compliance risk is something that there will be a zero threshold. You have to notify within that 72 hours of breach line. So for that, you should have the audit report logs, all kind of things. So no room for that. And something is the data principal, right? Data principal can ask you that I need to access, delete, update my data. So does your platform provide the same? And if you are not able to answer, then it's a direct losing the trust of the data principal. Okay. Now, these are the four rules which are under the DPDPA compliance. Okay. And you should know these rules. Okay. These are the key players. Okay. One is the data principal. Principal is someone who is giving the personal data to the university, to the industry. Okay. Suppose in my previous example, I told you that Amit Chandra is a student. So Amit Chandra is giving, I am giving my personal data. So I will be a data principal. Who will be the data fiduciary? If I'm taking admission to Gopala University, then Gopala University will be the data fiduciary, and the university has to make sure that they make sure that they preserve the right of Amit Chandra within their university as a data fiduciary, and I will be a data principal. Consent manager, who is a consent manager? Consent manager is someone whom you are going to hire. For example, it could be a data protection officer, as I told you. IDS has the data protection officer. We are a certified data protection officer. So you are going to hire us, and we will make sure that your university is DPDP compliant, and whatever the breaches or whatever the things is going to happen, that will happen from us, and you will be protected. So we will be a part of consent manager. And data protection board is it's a legal entity. It's the government of India board, which any a time can ask you for the report, and you can get as a data fiduciary, you can connect to your consent manager. That is, if in case of us, if it is IDS, then you can connect with us and ask for the details. Okay. So three questions a regulatory can ask you, whether it is a data protection officer, whether it is the data protection board, can ask you that what personal data do you hold and where does it live? Okay. It means that they can ask you that please list down what are the servers in which the personal data are residing. Okay. Whether it is file system, whether it is database, whether it is any kind of cloud, whether it is anywhere, they will ask you and you have to provide the detail. Now they will also ask you that on what basis you are holding the data. Do you have the consent of the student or the staff member to hold this data? And if you have the consent, then they will ask for that consent. So you should have that audit report. So question 3 is aligned to this. You have to prove the consent is that, can you prove that all? You should have that report with you. Okay. So based on out of that, there are various kind of tools which will help you to support this. One will be for question 1. It's all about the data discovery tool. The data discovery tools will make sure that it will search all the structured and unstructured data, and discover all kind of personal data for a student and staff which is within the university, and give you an pictorial representation where you will be able to clearly state to the data protection board officer, okay, these are the data and this is reside in these are the sources. Okay, now with this tool, data discovery tool, you will be able to answer this one. Now with the for question 2 and question 3, you will be requiring a consent management platform. And in that case, IDS is working on a product working, it's almost completed. Okay. So we have a product which is iConcentra, which makes sure that you are always aligned to the lawful, that whatever the data you are processing, it is based on the law. And anytime if it is required, you will be able to provide the evidence. So within one click, you will be able to provide the evidence, and this platform will make sure that you capture the consent, and that is based on the law. Okay. So there are two things. One is the data discovery, gap assessment, and risk assessment. The other one is the consent management platform. So, so these are the platform. I'm going to give you a detail about that. So as I said that what count as a personal data, it's the identity, contact, financial detail. I will not go into the detail of this. Let's move on to the this one is an example of student data in an university. I already discussed about this, that the sources are admission form, minor student, alumni marketing, third party LMS, record leakage, data collected for the admission form, name, date of birth, whereas minor students, if it is a minor student, that is parent, guardian. Alumni marketing, it's all about email, phone number, courses, and usage, and why it doesn't matter. It has been already been written over here. So in this case, in this particular example, Amit Chandra is the data principal. Your university will be the data fiduciary. You have to make sure that your university should be DPDPA compliance in the law, and the trusted will be your responsibility. And in that journey, one of a what I will say, IDS as a company, as a consent management company, is going to help you. Okay. So that is how the best practice for a university will be that collect only what is necessary. It means don't collect unnecessary information, because it will be a kind of responsibility for you if you collect unnecessary information. So collect only what is required. Take clear and verifiable consent. Before collecting, take a consent from the user that this is the purpose for which I'm collecting this number of data. Protect the data by keeping it into a secure place. Share only with authorized third party. Once you have the NDA, you share it, and once that NDA, once that agreement is breached, make sure that you don't pass on the data to the third party, and also make sure that they also delete the data, or at least you should have the report that they have deleted the data. Report the breach between an immediate time if when breaches happen, and give student their rights. That is all. What makes consent valid? When we say that taking the consent from the person is a valid, because we can take a consent in paper, we can write one statement and take a consent. So will that be a valid? No, that will not be a valid. So consent will be valid when it will be free. It means that whatever the field which you are going to use for that particular purpose, it should be listed, it should be clear. It should be clear and informed, so that the user will able to understand that these are the fields which I'm sharing with the university for this purpose, whether it is the name, my date of birth, my marks, my phone number, all those details should be clearly mentioned. You have to make sure that you take one consent at a time, or at least within that consent you should have a multiple purpose defined if you're taking the consent. Okay. Consent should not be unambiguous. It means that it should be clear. The action should be clear that what you are trying to do. It's not something that could you please provide your consent for the admission. In the admission process, for what purpose you are taking? Enrollment, inquiry, all those things should be mentioned. So So in this example, you can say that there are two example which says the fail the test and pass the test. So in this, I say that I agrees to the terms, one pre-tick box covering admission, marketing, and data sharing with partner. Right. In this, what we are saying that please agree on these terms because we are going to cover it for admission. There are three purposes for which it is asking for the consent: admission, marketing, and data sharing with partner. Is this the correct way? No. The best practice will be separate each separate the admission, separate the marketing, separate the data sharing, and make each box for each one so that the person, the student or the staff member will able to read it. Okay. Now, this is how your 44 weeks of journey will happen if you are going to start from now. Okay, this is very important. This is the timeline. So it is not something like that you purchase the platform and you start using it from day one and you are compliance with the DPDP. No, it's a process. It's a practice. It's a process. It's a series of activities which need to be done. So first it started with the gap assessment, which takes around 3 weeks of timeline to understand the existing database of your system and to find out where is the gap is. Then it's all about the data inventory and governance. Based on the gap analysis, uh, we are going to figure out the every touch point where there is a gap. We are going to create a steering committee whom we are going to report and talk about the touch point. We will bring you the policy, make best practice. It which takes around 3 to 9 weeks. See the timeline. It's almost a 6 weeks that it takes. 6 weeks, around 1.5 months. Then it comes around the consent architecture rebuild. It means once this gap assessment data inventory is done, then we will make sure that we deploy a platform. I will talk about, I will say we, because now I'm going to portray you as a consent management platform company so that you will easily understand. So then we are going to give you a consent architecture rebuild based on your gap assessment and data inventory and make sure that you are integrated with the platform and you are able to use that. So in order to do that process, it takes around 9 to 20 weeks. Okay. And if we consider 9 to 20 weeks, it's around 11 weeks of timeline. And if it is an 11 weeks, then you can say it's 3 months, right? 3 months of timeline, it depend upon how much data you have. It can be less, it can be less of that. Then we will make sure that whatever the third party IRP solution it is, get the consent management platform is integrated with that, and you are able to capture the data into that platform. We provide a training to your university and make sure that you are bound with the DPDPA compliance. You understand that one. Then that itself takes from 22 to 36 weeks. Okay, there are a lot of tools which we have to integrate with your existing system in order to do that one. Then the last come is the audit, test, and certify. Then we are going to audit the entire process again. We will submit the report. We will test the all the tools and the platform which we are going to provide, and we are going to certify that. So this is how the process will happen. It will take around 42 to 45 weeks, depend upon what the size of data you have. Okay. These are the steps which we are going to follow in order to make sure that your university is DPDP compliance. It all start with a data discovery where all the personal data across the structure and all unstructured sources will be collected. We are going to find out. Then we are going to classify that which are the sensitive data, which are the personal information data, which are the financial data. Then we are going to do the gap assessment based on the classification, identify that where is the compliance gap within the collected data and prioritize which is to be done first. Okay. Uh, Fourth step will be the ROPA registration. We will make sure that means automated record are being done for the processing activities. Then comes our iConcentra platform, which is specifically defined for the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th step. Okay, that platform is specifically make sure that you capture, manage, and withdraw. The student or the staff can do that one with the help of your platform, and as a data fiduciary, you are able to see that platform, see all the activities which are going on within the academia. Okay, related to the DPDP compliance. From 1 to 4, we have different kind of tools which we can offer, which we will work with you and give the consultancy and the tools platform and work with you. Sixth is the cookie consent. We click many website. The student click many website. The staffs click many website, and then the cookies are captured. And also the when there it is the university website, when it goes to the particular person, then for the cookies also they have to give an explicit consent, or the cookies banner which comes on. So we manage that one also. And this is not for the academia. I am talking about the academia. I'm talking about industry, whether it is banking, whether it is insurance, whether it is hospitality, whether it is e-commerce. All kind of industries we are servicing, providing the services. We also make sure that you get all type of privacy services. All the risk are been run. We give the data right to the individual. They can access, erase, and delete the data. Deleting the data does not mean that the student will go click and delete the data and it will get deleted from the database. No, no, that is how not the platform will not work. Deleting the data or the correction the data, it means that it will trigger a request to data fiduciary, your organization, and your organization will take the action on that. Okay, so that is how it will work. Breach incident management. If any kind of breaches will happen, some data breaches happen, or some, for example, some law is some suppose something is coming that the student has left, and there are some certain data which need to be deleted in 1 year, and you don't come to know that but the time has passed, and as an individual we don't know that whether we have to delete the data, but our platform will notify you that you have to delete this data. Compliance dashboard is very important for the leadership and for the staff member who are who are going to handle this the platform. If within one screen, you will be able to understand that what will be your KPI. You will be able to track the compliance. You will be able to know about the breaches. You will be able to know the number of consent provided, pending, and everything within a single window. You will be able to know that one. So this is an academic compliance journey which consists of 10 steps, which the organization has to follow. Okay. Now, as I said, that we as an IDS will support the organization in each and every steps, and we have different kind of tools which we are going to use in order to make you a DPDP compliance, and all those tools are the IDS is the owner of that, and we have built this one considering this DPDP compliance which is coming. So first one will be the data discovery, which start with the discovery phase. We are going to have a data classification, data flow mapping, which we are going to use in order to discover the data. Then in order to assess the data, we will be using gap assessment tool, risk scoring tools, and remediation roadmap tools. So we are going to provide this one. We are also going to take the phase 3 where govern, where we are going to have a automate processing record with audit trail. We will be using off-chain database so that we will keep track of all the logs. Also, we also as an organization, you have the facility to go ahead with the blockchain system where you will be getting more secure data, which is immutable. So we have provided an option to the organization to go ahead with normal database or a blockchain database. If it is a blockchain database, then it will be easier for you to convince the data protection board that the whatever the log which you are seeing, it's an immutable. No one will able to edit that one because it is a blockchain. We also provide a cookie consent where it will be easy for the organization to capture the cookies. By protection is being done, as I said, with our consent management platform. We provide a data principal right and risk assessment and DPA KPI. how you are going to comply in that journey when once you have all those kind of tools and platform. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, someone is there at the door. So how you're going to comply once you have all those tools, you have all those platform, you have gone through all the process, and now you have all the data in place, corrected all the data. Now, in this case, you will be comply with the compliance dashboard. As I said, that in dashboard, you will get all those things by looking into that, you will be able to understand that what action as a company you have to take. You will be having a breach and incident management screen, where in that screen, you will be able to see that if any kind of incident which has been raised by the data principal, that is the student or the staff member or a user, or there kind any kind of data breach which is happening, so you will be notified for that, and on a regular basis you will be getting an executive report. Within a click you will be able to download the report, whether it is an Excel, whether it is an PDF, it's your choice. You will be able to do that one, and all those data will be a blockchain based. It's your choice. Now ultimately it's your choice that whether you want to go ahead with blockchain or off chain. We provide both the services. Now, taking into the recap of this, we came to closer of our DPDP session. Uh, I will take a recap that whatever the topic which I have covered. First topic is that know the attack type. Most incidents still start with phishing. You have to be very much careful on day-to-day basis, looking into your mail, WhatsApp, website, that is there any kind of phishing activities which is going on. AI defend at machine speed and attack will machine polish. Okay, so AI always defend your machine so that the machine should work properly, and means and the intelligence what you have related to the thread, it will protect you from the attack, and you will be able to take more corrective actions. DPDPA Act is a law which is going to become, I have been to multiple platform with my team, and we have been discussing with government organization, and they are saying that the date is not going to change. So this is the right time that you work on this, and whatever the support you require, we are going to provide you on that. Zero trust, I covered about zero trust, that never trust anyone, always verify the things. So if DPDP, if follow the DPDP compliance report, that also says that prevent the data, and in this it is saying that in every area you verify the data, then only your data will be secure and you will be protected from the data breach. So with all this, I'm come to a end of this particular event. My name is Amit Chandra. I am Vice President IDS. This is my email ID, phone number. You can get in touch with me anytime to discuss about DPDP compliance and cybersecurity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Amit Chandra and Ms. Deepika Annapurna for their insightful
Yeah,
and engaging sessions. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. Now I invite Dr. Purani ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
yeah, Sweta, I
Over.
will like to invite Sunil on this call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sunil,
please,
sir, good
please.
afternoon. Welcome to final day FTP session today.
No, I don't know, but see, he is over here
Sir
or
is
not.
there. He's
Sir
there,
is
sir.
there? Okay.
Yes, sir. So,
Yeah, hi Sunil, are you
yeah.
there? Let me give him a call. Okay.
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
Then
hi
we can.
Amit. Yes, I'm
Yeah, hi
here.
Sunil. Yes, Sunil.
Okay. Purani ma'am, over to you. I request Purani ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
And Sweta, I will request that every one of
Yes,
us, if we can switch on our camera and we
yes,
can
sir.
have one photo, so
I
that
was
will be great for
about to
our
tell.
memories, right?
Thanks, Amit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Am I audible, Shweta ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. I request all the participants to
Yeah,
switch
yeah.
on their
Yeah,
cameras.
please
Thank
switch on
you.
your camera. Yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, thank you so much. And over to you, Puranima.
Yeah, I'm switching my camera actually.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, somehow I am not able to see everyone. I don't know why.
Thank you, Shweta ma'am. Good afternoon, all. I
Thank you, ma'am.
welcome all for the valedictory ceremony of the 6-day faculty development program on cybersecurity in the AI era. Respected dignitaries, esteemed resource persons, dear faculty members, and distinguished participants, as we come to the successful conclusion of the 6-day faculty development program on cybersecurity in the AI era, it is my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and the Department of Computer Science and Engineering AIML, Gopalan College of Engineering and Management, Bengaluru. First and foremost, we extend our sincere thanks to our chief patrons, Dr. Prabhagar C., General Secretary, Gopalan Foundations, Bengaluru, and Mrs. Sunita Prabhagar, Director, Gopalan Organics, Bangalore, for their constant encouragement, visionary leadership, and unwavering support in promoting academic excellence and professional development initiatives. We express our heartfelt gratitude to our respected Dr. Arun Vikas Singh, Principal, GSM, for his invaluable guidance, constant encouragement, and unwavering support, which were instrumental in the successful execution of this faculty development program. We express our deep sense of gratitude to our distinguished resource persons, Mr. Sunil Subramanyam, Vice President, IDS Private Limited, Mr. Amit Chandra, Ms. Deepika Annapurna, Ms. Nikita Gautam Gugale. We sincerely thank them for graciously sharing their vast knowledge, industry expertise, and valuable insights in the domain of cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. Their sessions on AI-driven cybersecurity, secure AI application, ethical hacking, blockchain security, data privacy, zero trust security, and emerging cyber threats were highly enlightening, thought-provoking, and immensely beneficial. The practical perspectives and the real world experiences shared by them have truly enriched all the participants. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Swati I, Director IQAC and Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, GSEM, and Dr. Manoj Sella, Professor and Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, AIML, GSEM, for their exemplary academic leadership, meticulous planning, constant guidance, and unwavering support throughout this faculty development program. Their vision, dedication, and tireless efforts have been the driving force behind the successful organization and completion of the 6-day FDP. We are truly grateful for their continuous encouragement and invaluable contribution, which made this program a grand success. I thank our co-FDP convener, Professor Kavita Bai, for her meticulous coordination. I extend my sincere appreciation to FDP coordinator, Professor Shweta, for her exemplary coordination, committed leadership, and dedicated efforts in ensuring the successful conduct of this 6-day faculty development program. We also extend our sincere thanks to all the faculty coordinators, organizing committee members, technical support team, Mr. Raghavendra and Mr. Ramu, whose hard work, cooperation, and commitment behind the scenes ensure the smooth conduct of every session. At this juncture, we once again extend our cordial thanks to all the faculty participants from various institutions and our own GSM faculty members. Your enthusiastic participation, active interaction, thoughtful discussions, and commitment to learning added immense academic value to this faculty development program. Despite being connected virtually, your presence and engagement made the program vibrant and meaningful. Finally, we thank each and every individual who contributed directly or indirectly to the success of this FTP. We hope that the knowledge and insights gained during these 6 days will inspire innovative teaching, strengthen research initiatives, and promote the development of secure and responsible AI-enabled systems. I would like to make one important announcement. So the evaluation session for this faculty development program will be conducted on Saturday, that is on tomorrow. A Google form containing 25 multiple choice questions based on the topics covered during the FDP will be shared with all the participants at 10 a.m. Participants are kindly requested to complete and submit the evaluation between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Responses submitted after 1 p.m. will not be considered. Following the evaluation, we also request all participants to complete the final feedback form. Your valuable feedback will help us to evaluate the effectiveness of the program and enable us to organize even better academic initiatives in the future. We sincerely appreciate your cooperation and active participation throughout these 6 days. With this, I conclude the vote of thanks. Thank you all once again for your valuable presence and support. Wishing you all success, good health, and many more opportunities for learning and cooperation. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Uh,
Purnima, for delivering out of thanks. And dear all,
Shweta,
Shweta, ma'am?
1 minute. Purni, madam, can you ask feedback from the participants
Yes.
and also please
Yes, sir,
share the
definitely,
experience of the
sir.
speaker. Please, sir, please.
Participants, can you please share your experience with this 5 days sessions? Participants?
anybody can unmute your mic and please share your experience with us.
So the expressions are coming out in the Teams. Anyone can. Any participant? Feedback?
I think everyone liked it
Okay,
so
everyone,
much
yes,
that
sir.
they are unable to share their happiness.
Yes, sir. Sir, from the speaker side, any feedback or anything you want to share means you please share the information, sir.
So all that I can say is this program has been very good and wonderful. And first and foremost, I should thank Dr. Manoj for approaching me and IDS for partnering with GSEM in conducting this program. Initially, when Dr. Manoj sir asked about how about conducting cybersecurity in AI, so I was little skeptical, but my team ensured confidence in me that yes, we can go ahead and do it. So within 1 hour, just I gave my consent that yes, sir, we are going to do this. And I thank Amit Chandra, Deepika, Nikita for cooperating with me, supporting with IDS in this juncture. And I believe all the participants also have gained good knowledge and understanding on different cybersecurity aspects, along with real-time industry tools and products and how they are being used in today's industry. For that, I want to appreciate Amit Chandra for showcasing and demonstrating our products along with partners' products, because that is where the industry academia collaboration comes in. When we generally say academia industry collaboration, it is not just kind of putting our logos and doing this kind of program, but when the actual participants get to see that what is happening in the industry, those real products or the industry tools, that is when this kind of programs, I believe personally, that will be considered a big success. So that I'm sure the participants might also have appreciated various tools. In fact, Deepika showed Microsoft Defender, incident response, how actually it happens in the real time. So these are all the things I sincerely appreciate, and also I think the participants will take these along with them when especially teaching students and giving other programs. So thank you once again, GSEM and Dr. Arun sir, Dr. Manoj, for sharing this opportunity with IDS. We look forward to many more programs like this in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Dr. Manoj. So first of all, thanks, Sunil, for a span you accepted and your team, Mr. Amitji, thanks for sharing your experience, and also your team, Deepika and Nikita. So I think it is a great session. I almost attended all the sessions today. Actually, I was traveling, that's why I'm not able to join in a continuous way. So I just stand by and then I just join now to tell to acknowledge this FDP is successful. So, and also we got the feedback, it was very good. So only one thing is they're requesting for the PPTs because they're interested in the slides which you have been shared in last 5 days. So if you can share that with my team, that will be really useful for the participants as well. So there is one request from my side, and really thanks for the entire team of IDS. So hope we'll have very knowledgeable sessions in future. And then our collaboration will continue, Sunil. So we'll discuss on that. So thank you very much. Thank you, Amitji and team.
Definitely, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity. But before we can go ahead and close, I have something to say. See, we over here, for the past 1 week, I have seen that the attendance is very good, right? There are more than 60 people who have joined this session, and this is a kind of platform where we can use and we can spread the awareness to others, right? It's not about that it should be with these 60 people. These 60 people can circulate it to 200 to 300 peoples, right? So that is how as an
Yeah.
institute we will grow, whether it is IDS or whether it is Gopalan University. We are talking about cyber security, we are talking about data privacy, and within this span of 1 week, you have seen that IDS as a company is working very closely to this kind of data security products, right? I have given you an example of biometric where your face will be a kind of QR code and you will be easily able to get access to a premises and you will be able to secure that one. So this is not something a theory. This is not something a theory that you look into that and you just check it. Try to see that where it could be implemented. I worked for government, I worked for private entity, I worked for STPI. And over there, I used to say only one thing is that whatever you are looking or whatever you are seeing, try to implement it somewhere, whether it is the biometric. We have our ID stack. That is a very good product, which gives your identity into a wallet. Okay. And it is into a blockchain. You can see that blockchain AI is currently nowadays booming. And I'm very closely interacting with the NPCI people. I'm interacting with the Reserve Bank of India, and you will soon see CBDC live. Okay. So if when CBDC is going to live, then then as a college, you should have something in your way where you can say that your university is also a blockchain entity, right? Blockchain applied. So our ID stack is very easy to use. It's just you enroll and your wallet will get created. The other part product which I have shown is the IDS XR. IDS XR is all 3D animation learning, and I have seen you one of a product of a Toyota engine, that how easily you will be able to learn and the student will able to learn. I will tell you one thing, where I have joined so many hackathon, I have been part of so many startup, and the better way you able to tell your product, the you are the winner. And with this kind of training platform as a university, as an academia partner or as a student, when you create such kind of module with the IDS XR, I will confidently tell you that you will be able to win all type of grants which the government is looking for. It is not about IT, it's about any kind of sector, whether it is energy, telecom, any kind of sector it is. And the last product which I talked about is the DPDP product. And our product is iConcentra along with the other tools. And I said with the starting note that DPDP is a law and you can't run away from the law. It is going to become, and it is the right time that you can connect with us. As an industry partner, we will collaborate with you. We will provide you all those kind of sort of tools, knowledge, platform, so that by 2027, you will be able to be a DPDP compliance. So with all those things, I hope that you are going to spread out all this product, all this knowledge to your colleagues, and it will add value. And we as an industry partner will looking for more kind of such collaboration. Then only industry and academia will grow. Otherwise, the discussion will stop here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sunil, and thanks everyone for inviting me for this session. Thank you.
Thank you for all the dignitaries, and thanks for joining for this vote of thanks session today. And thank you for all the participants, and happy learning. Have a good day.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.